Last NCAA Championships, your fifth one, looking to be a five-time All-American. What's just your mindset? How you feeling before going into this tournament?
I feel good. I think I've made the most of my college career just in terms of laying it all out there. So I have no regrets about my college career. And that's just kind of the trend I hope to continue is just I'm going to fight like hell. That's all you know you're going to get that from me. I can't tell you what the outcome is going to be because I can't control that. But I'm going to fight like hell and I'm going to give my best. And I'm just going to leave with no regrets and, just surrender the outcome, really practice that, put that into practice and be happy with whatever comes of it. I know it's all everything happens for a reason. So whatever happens, I'm gonna accept it and be thankful for my college career and be thankful I was able to get through healthy. So and wrestle 6 years. So
is it mostly just this is a medal testing thing for you? I mean, if you're not obviously you want to win it. You wanted to win it when you were a four-time All-American, but just like no matter what happens, let's say God forbid I get beat early, I'm going to be as tough as I can possibly be this entire tournament. Like, that's your standard for the tournament?
Yeah, everything that happens, I think there's a purpose. Everything that happens, I think, is in God's will. And so whatever happens, hopefully I can just accept it and bounce back and respond to it. I think you don't really control what happens to you, but you control how you respond to it. So that's just kind of like what you were saying to your point. No matter what happens in this tournament, of course I want to go out and win, but no matter what the outcome is, I just want to respond well and be thankful for the people that are showing up for me and hopefully make them proud. So.
I think there were 9 or 10 guys from the Big 12 at under 97 pounds that qualified for nationals. How tough was that bracket in Tulsa, and what did it mean to you to come out on top?
Yeah, I think that was the toughest. I think 197 Big 12s was the toughest conference for 197. And so it's a good preparation for the Nationals. I know a couple of the guys that wrestled there are top 8 seeds at the Nationals, so there's really no better preparation you can get than doing that. Those are guys that I saw throughout the year as well. So I think every time I look back at a rival or a competitor or any type of match, I just kind of see that we made each other better, and that's really what I take from it as opposed to the outcome. So really the same thing I'll take from this Big 12 is just thankful to it's always fun. It's so fun to wrestle in Tulsa and go to Nationals. So I know that there's no atmosphere like there is at the national tournament. Even wrestling at the Junior Worlds in 2021, it was a little different because COVID had restrictions on how many fans could be there. But I just know the atmosphere of the national tournament is very different than anything that I've competed in. So it's always fun to go out there and share the mat with good competitors.
Go ahead, Ben.
Sorry, Jackie. No. Rock, you had a really unique season this year. How has the way it's gone prepared you for, Cleveland?
Yeah, it's taking some turns. It was a lot of things were expected, but there's always the things you don't expect. So I think just how you respond to that. One thing I've talked a lot about with Perry is I've been faced with a lot of adversity this year, and it's in those moments like the Oklahoma State match, or it's in those moments when you get taken down first in a match, and just some of the things you don't expect. Maybe a ref is somewhat against you in a match, or a call doesn't go your way. Those type of things I think is really where you're tested, and Perry talks to me about how that's where you can kind of recognize that somebody that has the potential to be a national champion is how they respond to those things. And so I think thankfully I've been able to respond well to a lot of the adversities that I've faced this year, and so expect that to happen at nationals, some type of adversity, and be able to respond well to it. So
is there a type of calmness that comes going into your final run? Like, it's kind of one of those, like, leave it all on the mat, there's no other choice. Is there a certain level of this that has made this maybe less stressful than other years?
Yeah, for some reason I don't feel much anxiety going into this event. I think it always changes, as you lead up to a competition 1 and 2 days, and as you get to the mat and everything. But I really don't feel any anxiety for this tournament. I feel at peace. I feel like I said, I know what I need to do is control what I can control, and that's my effort, and that's the only thing I can control. There's no really point to me and trying to manage the things that I can't control, what opponent I'm going to have, what they're going to throw at me. The thing I can control is my preparation, my effort. So that's always really been my focus. I think my faith plays a role in how I am just really calm at this. I think there's always going to be something that follows it, something important. And that's why I always say, I just kind of have the same approach to every match, even if it's the national tournament. I just kind of wake up, I learn from the experience, I get better, and I move forward. And so that's not just the approach with the regular season matches that prepare us for the nationals, but even at the nationals, I think that's kind of the approach. So I'm excited for what's next for me in my life, and I'm really excited to wrestle at this last national tournament. So just being present with it, I think, is gonna serve me the most. So.
What is next after national tournament for you?
That's a good question. I can't even answer that, honestly. I know that there's going to be a lot of opportunities because I've seen the nature of how RTCs work, and my brother doing it going before me, him going off to Rutgers and things like that, being a part of their RTC. I know that at any point, any college can pick up the phone and ask me to visit them and, give me an opportunity. So Ames is a place I would love to be. I've felt very at home here, and I've felt very welcome. So I love it here. But that's a good question. I know I want to continue wrestling as long as I'm healthy because I have the love for it. And like I said, if I'm healthy, I'd love to continue wrestling. Hopefully I'm in the process of getting my Italian citizenship, so hopefully that's something that could play a role in my international wrestling, my international competition in the future. So that's kind of what I see is on the horizon for after college.
Does that entail Worlds, Olympic Copes, all that stuff rolled into one?
Yep, it does. That's what I'd like to do. I'd like to spend all my years competing in wrestling. I know some guys take the MMA route, or some guys just want to retire or coach or whatever. But for me, as far as I can see right now for myself, I'd like to continue wrestling, competing, and then probably go into coaching because I love wrestling. So hopefully I can stay involved with it in some capacity for as long as possible.
What was your ratio of anxiety to calm at your first nationals versus now?
It was definitely much different. It's a good question even for me to think about because I just remember I was the 7 seed, I think, and that was like a half season. You guys probably remember it was like shortened because of the COVID season. And I had the 7 seed, and the 20-something was Jake Woodley, who's an All-American, and so I think the shortened season played a role in kind of some very sporadic seeding. But I was so nervous going in that first match. I was so nervous, and I think that contributed to why I lost my first match. I think I lost to the 27 seed, but it was a very, very tough opponent. And I ended up wrestling all the way back and wrestling Jake again in the 5th place match. So it was kind of crazy, but I'm so glad I had that experience because I kind of needed to show myself like how tough I was and be able to go through all those matches after losing my first round. So actually good thing to think about there, but yeah, it's much different. I just feel much more seasoned. I feel more savvy when I take the mat. I feel like I've been there so many times, so it just feels much more natural.
Can you put into words what it's like to compete at the national tournament? Like, what does it feel like if you had to?
That's a great question. I don't know if there's words. I'd say it's just like you definitely feel like there's a lot of eyes on you. I'd say that, and when you hear the announcer and there's different matches going on, there's people cheering, but you don't know if it's for your match. There's 8 matches going on at one time. So it's kind of like, it could be overstimulating, I guess. And I think you have to be able to handle that. If if you're not able to handle that, I think that's where a lot of the nerves sometimes get guys. But, thankfully it's been something I've been able to handle well, and hopefully I can do at this next one. But yeah, like I said, I think it's just there's never that many people in one arena that love wrestling. Even when you go overseas, I think for the World Championships, those are a little bit smaller tournaments in terms of fans that are there, and they're from all different countries. Some of them don't even know who you are. For the most part, a lot of people are familiar with college wrestlers and who's out there, so it's a really cool experience.
Go way back with me. Do you remember the moment you first fell in love with wrestling? Where you were, when it was, circumstances?
I would say, yeah, I think it was a different process for me. I think when it's kind of funny because it wasn't like a fond memory, but I lost my blood round at my state my freshman year, and just I think being the competitor I was, I wanted to win it. I expected of myself to win it, and I'm sitting there going, man, I didn't even place at this tournament, and I wanted to win it. And so after that, I stopped playing football. I just wrestled year round, and it was kind of like maybe a rude awakening, but maybe it was a good thing that happened. I think it was a blessing in disguise, so to speak. That happened, that I didn't, left a bad taste in my mouth, and I really wanted to full-time commit myself to it. So I think my love for wrestling started kicking off then. Of course, I enjoyed it when I was young, but there was, ups and downs I went through, especially when, you're young and you're experiencing different things of what sports you enjoy and what you don't enjoy about sports. So I think I went through my ups and downs when I was a kid, but I really started to love it when I after my freshman year in high school was kind of the start of it. And like I said, I think it came from that moment of a loss, which is kind of cool. And then I ended up doing really well that summer and kind of just excelling as I trained full time. So.
How healthy are you right now entering this tournament?
Good, yeah, I'm feeling great. So I'm feeling good, which is a huge blessing. And like I said, I'm so thankful. My focus really is like not even, can I? Of course, I want to win, but I'm just thankful he could be healthy for a full season and wrestle a full season healthy. So.
Is this the healthiest you've gone into a national tournament?
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Thanks, Rocky.